Hello, everyone, and welcome to my happy place. I hope it becomes yours as well. Hello, crafty friends. Today, I want to talk about what is a signature for a junk journal. When I started and got interested in junk journaling, that was one of my biggest questions. I watched a lot of videos. I heard a lot of people talking about things. They were always talking about signatures. What the heck is a signature? Oh, I had no clue. Tried to find it. Didn't have much idea. Kept watching. Finally, I figured out what a signature was. They weren't talking about, writing a signature with a pen or a pencil. That's not what they're talking about. What they're talking about is in a junk journal, each of these little sections are considered a signature. Hoping you can see this okay. This junk journal happens to have 5 signatures. So each of these is a signature. See here? These are each signatures. And so today I'm going to show you how to put together a signature and a few things that you can use to put together a signature. It really depends on how big your signature you want it to be. In the United States, most pages are 8.5 by 11. So that's a pretty common, size. I usually work with that when I'm building my signatures. And the first thing you're really going to do is start folding them in half. But let's talk about some things you can use first. So this is graph paper. You can use that. This is from a coloring book. Certainly you can use that. This is from an old planner book from 2021. See, look, never used it. You can use that. This is just a piece of paper, blank. This is from an old book, kid's book. You can use that. This is a piece of homemade paper. I didn't make it. Somebody else made it. I bought it at a garage sale pack of it in different colors. Just a piece of lined paper. Cool. This is from a book that rated records, actually. Kind of told you how much they were worth now, as of whenever the book was written, which was like 1980 or something. You can use music paper. You can use maps. You can use anything. Just remember that for each sheet of paper, you're really getting 4 pages, right? Because you're going to put these in half. So let's do that. Let's just crease these in half. And we're going to do that real quick. And some people have fancier ways of doing this. I literally just fold them in half and kind of make sure they line up here. All right. So we're going to get all these folded in half. Some are already folded in half for us, like that one. How nice of them to go ahead and do that for us. If you're lucky enough to get it out of a book intact, you will know what I'm talking about eventually. That one's already folded in half. These, let's see. Yeah, we're going to fold these in half. Here. And here. And I kind of took these because they're two different. I took 2 of these because they're 2 different, right? This one has lines pretty much. This one kind of has some kind of a graph, and then the calendar, right? So those are pretty different. I try to use, not a lot of the same thing, unless like maybe I had a themed journal. Like I have a bunch of sewing things that I'm kind of saving for a sewing themed journal that I want to do. So, and in that journal, I may not use sheet music, let's say, in a sewing journal, because I don't really think it really would have anything to do with sewing and music, but maybe it would. Who knows? And this page is way bigger than all the others as well. You can kind of see. We'll kind of line them up here. This one's the tallest. We're going to kind of put them by height a little bit here so you can see. How they differ in height, and then I want to show you how they differ in width as well. So see, they all differ in height, which is fine. And if you set them this way, they all differ in width too, which is fine as well, really. You're probably going to end up trimming these possibly to whatever size, whatever width your journal is. And let's say, I don't know how tall these are. Let's measure. Let's see how tall the tallest one is. Let's see, this is the tallest one. I think it's because it's paper from overseas, I believe. So it's 9, yeah. It's 9 wide. So, yeah, this would be for sure the tallest one. And if you were putting it into a journal, let's say, that is only 9 wide, then you might want to trim this paper down. And maybe even possibly this one. You don't want the papers really hanging out of the edge. And so that's why, like, if I'm going to make a journal like this one, I made it 9 because usually the papers are about 8.5. So I might trim those down, actually, if I were making a signature for that one with using these. All right, and then we're just going to simply put it together however we want to put it together. Just remember that, let's see, what do we want the first page to be? Let's see, and a lot of people use, this is where, like, paper that people use to, what are they called? Multimedia. They use the gel plates and they make all this beautiful paper. A lot of that is used on the inside of junk journals. I just don't happen to have any of that. I haven't made any. I haven't gone down that rabbit hole yet. So, yeah, I don't have any of that. Or I would have included that in here. But, so I'm just going to start kind of sticking this together. And I kind of try to do like maybe a plainer page and an interesting page. And maybe a plainer page and an interesting page. And there we go. And maybe, and the inside page I really want to be interesting, but I like this because this one's really interesting. And maybe we do a little page in here. And let's come back to here. Because this paper here, although beautiful, is not very practical. You're not going to be able to do a whole lot on that. You can decorate it for sure, but you're not going to be able to you're not going to be able to like write on it. That's not going to really work. And it's kind of see-through. So that's kind of another problem. All right, so we're going to, now I'm just kind of lining these up just to make sure I like kind of the way they're looking here, kind of making sure they're in the middle, just like that. And that would be one signature. Now, we're going to clip this right here because I want to hold it for a minute while I explain this to you. So now we're going to count how many pages this would be, right? So it's, each one of these is 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40. 40. And you could easily, just as easily, find that out by counting how many pages you had originally. Just 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be 10, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and multiplying it by 4. That gives you 40, right? 10 pages, 4. And this is actually a pretty thin signature. Actually, it's not super thick. I think you possibly could get away with adding more to this because these pages actually are fairly thin. I would consider this a pretty thin signature, to be honest. Now, I also want to show you something else. When we talked about some of these pages were too long, we could go in with these longer pages. Let's see how wide these are looking. Yeah, these would be too, these actually would be all too wide for our book. Because our book is only going to be 2, 3, 5 1/4. So we would definitely want them to be well under 5 inches. So these are all going to be over for this book. But what we could do is we could take, let's take this apart. These pages, and we could fold them down at 5, right? We could mark them and fold them down at 5. Oops. And then this would give us, let's mark it clear up here. And you can, if you want, you could crease that with a, oh my gosh, why can I not remember that? Some days things just totally leave my brain and it's like, I can't find the word for them. I'm sure you're all in your little homes or wherever you are yelling at me and telling me what the name of it is, and I just can't remember. Scoreboard. You could score it. There we go. Okay, and then this would make a pocket, right, or a tuck spot. So we could do that. Which is what we probably do with some of these longer pages. We don't have to do them all the same way either. Bending them all the same way, we could bend them the other way. We could bend them in this way and score them. Because in junk journals, you're always looking for tuck spots, right? And let's just do this one as well. And maybe we'll make this one a little bit shorter. Because they don't have to be exact, right? I mean, we could actually fold it in clear and dear if we wanted to. I'm not going to do that with this page because I'm going to probably want places to write, and since this is blank, I think that's a good way to do it. But okay, we've got that. There we go with that. This one we need to, now this one, like, let's do this one by quite a bit, right? Let's pull this one in, and then we can decorate it. So there we go with that. That one's good. That's all right. All right. Now see, that's looking a lot better. It's still going to be over. And we're probably going to end up trimming it down. Is what we're going to be doing. But I don't know if I'll use this in that book or not. Probably. But should we go ahead and trim it down? Oh, we could go ahead and do that. Let's do it. Might as well. If you don't want to see it, just fast forward it. That's fine. But we are going to have to use the guillotine, so I'm going to have to move it over here. Not everybody loves it, so just going to warn you. All right. And what we're going to do is I'm going to put this just under 5. There. How are these? No, they're going to need a little bit too. Yeah. This. Here we go with that. Oh, that'll be fine. This one, not so much. Need a little bit. There we go. This one. I don't really want to get rid of that. I like that little, how it's kind of, I don't know, torn, aged that bit. I don't really want to get rid of that. So I'm going to fold that over. And it'll be another little tuck spot. And this edge, I don't care about as much, but that's fine. Okay. This one we already took care of. We took care of that one. And this one, I'm going to have to trim just a little bit. All right. Now, we're going to put this back in together. And hopefully it works. It should be under the right size now. Here we go. We'll straighten these up in a minute. And put this one back in here. But we're just looking at the width right now. And let's say we're going to put it in this journal here. And how are we going to do with the width? Oh, the width's going to be great now. Look. Yeah. I mean, it fits perfect. It's really good. And some people want this to be perfectly even. They'll put it in there, keep chopping it until it's all even. Me, I don't really care. It's a junk journal. Come on. Really? I mean, if you really need it that precise, go for it. Spend the time. Me, that's not gonna happen. Okay. So let's straighten these back out again. Oh, did we take care? We took care of the height, right? Yeah, we took care of the height. No, we didn't. That one page is still. Hold on. These couple pages are too tall. We need to take care of that real quick. Almost forgot about that. You guys let me forget. You guys didn't yell loud enough. All right. We just need to take a smidgen off of it. I'm just going to leave them together. Make sure there's no other pages in here hiding. There's not. Okay. And I'm just gonna line them up and take, well, I'm gonna take a little bit off of this end, and then I'm gonna turn them around and I'm gonna take a little bit off the other end, just to kind of keep them balanced out. Okay. Now that should be better. way better. Put it in here. Yep. It's not going to stick out either end. Terrific. And we've got a great signature. Looks good. All right. And you can still, like, if you want, fold pages over, do whatever you want. You got to make it yours. The only reason this is important, that these are in the middle, is because when you sew them in, you're going to want to make sure they get caught in, right? Or they will fall out of your book, and that will not be a good thing. There we go. There we go. We want this in the middle. And if they're not in the middle, like this page here, it's big, but not totally big. So let's say we have a hole here and a hole here and then a hole in the middle for the, when we sew the signature in. If this isn't in the middle and this is slide way down here, then it's only going to get caught by these two holes, and then this up here is going to be flapping around. We don't really want that. We want it to make sure it gets caught as many times as possible. So, and we'll put that in there. And that looks good. It's great. It's a good little signature there. And you can clip it. And you can make up a bunch of these and, you know, mass make them, and then you'll have them. If you know that you like a certain size of journal and that, you know, you don't want it to be much bigger than that, then, you know, put a bunch together, or put a bunch together and don't cut them. So then all you have to do is cut them, but they're already bunched together. So then you just have to pick a bunch of them up, trim them down, fold some pages in, you're good to go. Right? Easy peasy. Super easy. And that is a signature. It is not with a pen and a pencil. Not that kind of signature. Not your John Hancock that kids today don't know how to do anyway. It's this. All right. Take care. I'll catch you next time. Thank you for watching Happy Place Crafting. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. It means a whole lot.